Hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things I personally find intriguing enough for me to bring to you. The source of this information comes from the smart device application on this day. The music in the background is Elektronomia by Energy, which I found on the YouTube channel No Copyright Sounds, aka NCS. For links to the app, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar. It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning yet, not sure if you can see that. I have some breakfast here for myself, and I am going to eat that as soon as it's done cooling down after this video, so let's get on with the show, shall we? Today is Wednesday, aka Wednesday, October 5th, 2016. In 1990, after 150 years, the Herald broadsheet newspaper in Melbourne, Australia was published for the last time as a separate newspaper. In 1986, Israeli secret nuclear weapons were revealed when the British newspaper The Sunday Times ran Mordecai Vannunu's story on the front page under the headline, quote, "Revealed the secret of Israel's nuclear arsenal," end quote. In 1984, Mark Garneau became the first Canadian in space. He was aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. In 1982, during the Chicago Tylenol murders, Johnson & Johnson initiated a nationwide product recall in the United States for all products in its Tylenol brand after several bottles in Chicago were found to have been laced with cyanide, which had resulted in the deaths of 7 people. In 1970, the Public Broadcasting Service, aka PBS, was founded. In 1969, the first episode of Monty Python's Flying Circus aired on BBC One. In 1968, the Troubles is considered to have began after police batoned civil rights demonstrators in Derry, Northern Ireland. In 1966, a partial core meltdown occurred at the Enrico Fermi demonstration nuclear breeder reactor near Detroit, Michigan. In 1962, the Beatles' first single, Love Me Do, backed with P.S. I Love You, was released in the United Kingdom. Also in 1962, Dr. No, the first of the James Bond film series, was released. In 1955, Disneyland Hotel opened to the public in Anaheim, California. In 1947, the first televised White House address was given by U.S. President Harry S. Truman. In 1945, during Hollywood Black Friday, a 6-month strike by Hollywood set decorators turned into a bloody riot at the gates of Warner Brothers Studios. In 1944, suffrage was extended to women in France. In 1943, 98 U.S. POWs were murdered by Japanese forces on Wake Island. In 1938, in Nazi Germany, Jews' passports were invalidated and those who needed a passport for immigration purposes were given one marked with the letter J for Jude, aka Jew. In 1921, the 1921 World Series became the first to be broadcasted on radio. In 1915, Bulgaria entered World War I as one of the Central Powers. In 1905, Wilbur Wright piloted the Wright Flyer 3 in a flight of 24 miles in 39 minutes. This record will be broken only 3 years later. In 1903, Sir Samuel Griffith was appointed the first Chief Justice of Australia, and Sir Edmund Barton and Richard O'Connor were appointed as Foundation Justices. In 1864, the Indian city of Calcutta was almost completely destroyed by a cyclone in which 60,000 people died. In 1857, the city of Anaheim, California was founded. In 1793, during the French Revolution, Christianity was disestablished in France. Perhaps one of their better moves. In 1789, also during the French Revolution, women of Paris marched to Versailles in the March on Versailles to confront Louis XVI of France about his refusal to promulgate the decrees on the abolition of feudalism, demanded bread, and had the king and his court moved to Paris. And in 1582, due to the implementation of the Gregorian calendar, this date does not exist this year in Italy, Poland, Portugal, and Spain. Births: Charles Coy, aka South Park Mexican, 1971, Neil deGrasse Tyson, 1958. Deaths: Steve Jobs, 2011, good riddance to bad cheese. And that concludes the show! Once again, you can check the underbar for any links you may be interested in. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection and rate 5 thumbs and subscribe if you do so wish. For your dose of passive and daily, I am Aeoxander and you are you. Toodles! And Sir Edmund Barton and Richard O'Connor were appointed Aeoxander